What is distracting you from being the person the Lord wants you to be? Why don't you write distractions down on your paper? And that's what we're going to journal about today. Let me get you started with some common distractions. Social media, food, porn, addiction, family, ego, success, money, desires. They're not all bad, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But what is distracting you from being the person the Lord wants you to be? You were not a mistake. The Lord created you with the purpose. He made you perfect, and He made you perfect so that you could further His kingdom. So maybe you were born one way, and then something happened in your life that got you thrown off of that path and is making you be someone else, and you don't even remember what your purpose was from the very beginning. And that can happen by life circumstances. That can be happen by what people might say being dealt a bad hand, but it's okay. That's a distraction. Let's get back to being the person the Lord wanted you to be. Let's funnel down some of those distractions though, because sometimes that can be really, really important to do. Take porn, for instance, or addiction. I think that we all see that as a very real distraction from being the person the Lord wants you to be. He does not want you to be overwhelmed by those type of sins and those type of distractions. But family's a little bit harder because family's a good thing and we're called to serve, right? But if you are too preoccupied with being a mom, a wife, a daughter, a sister, that you're not taking care of yourself and you are not spending time with the Lord, then your family has become a distraction. But the family itself isn't the distraction. There's something else that sometimes you have to funnel down and figure out. Maybe it's codependency. Maybe it's people pleasing. Maybe it's fear of not being loved. So those are the things that you need to figure out when you're writing down what are the distractions that are keeping me from being the person I want to be. And sometimes we don't even know who the person the Lord wants us to be. Maybe you're stuck in some job or you're on some path and you've all of a sudden thought this is where God wants you. But if you really think about it and you spend some time, you realize, wait, no, this isn't it, because my life is so focused on something other than Him. So what are the distractions that are keeping you from being the person the Lord wants you to be? Let me read you a verse. And now, Israel, what does the Lord your God require of you? He requires only that you fear the Lord your God. You live in a way that pleases Him and love Him and serve Him with all your heart and soul. The person God wants you to be is that person that pleases Him, loves Him, and serves Him with your heart and soul. And if there's something else in your life that is a distraction from that, and in your brain it might be a good thing, like family, like success, like ego, like a really, really high paying job, but think about it for a second. Is this part of what He requires of you? Is this the person He wants you to be? Is it pleasing Him? Is it loving Him? Is it serving Him with all your heart and soul? So I know it's a hard one this morning and nobody likes to look at these truths, but journal about what's distracting you from being the person the Lord wants you to be. And then ask yourself, why? Why is food more important than God? Why am I allowing that to be a distraction? Why can't I stop scrolling social media long enough to spend some time with my Lord? What is behind that? Distractions. It's a good one for today.